what the black man and woman needs to know about the nation, about the world, about themselves. Muhammad Speaks It. To order your 12-issue subscription to Muhammad Speaks newspaper, 313-371-7033. 313-371-7033. Kareem Bean Pie is the grand champion of all bean pies. The rich flavor and smooth texture takes this pie to a whole new level of delicious. One bite and you'll understand why people all over the country call daily to order Kareem Bean Pie. 313-371-7033. That's 313-371-7033. Kareem Bean Pie.
This bean pie is delicious.
Muhammad Speaks presents Messenger Elijah Muhammad's Teachings by Minister Khalil Shabazz every Sunday from 2 to 3 p.m. at Muhammad's Temple of Islam, 12609 East McNichols Road in Detroit.
I'd like to say in the name of Allah, who came in the person of Master Khalil Muhammad, and in the name of his last and greatest messenger, the most honorable Elijah Muhammad, I'd like to greet the brothers and sisters with the Nation of Islam's greeting words of peace of Assalamu alaikum. Today, we'd like to start with the September 9th, 1969 Muhammad Speaks, and it's called The Destruction and Fall. It's an article called The Women in Islam. That's the article that we want to start, or we want to read today. It's by Sister Marjorie Hassan. It says, the women in Islam give eternal praise to Allah, God, Master Khalil Muhammad, for our divine teacher, Messenger Muhammad. She says, Holy Quran, chapter 24 and 21. O you who believe, follow not the footsteps of the devil. And whoever follows the footsteps of the devil, surely he commands indecency and evil. And were it not for Allah's grace on you and his mercy, not one of you would ever have been pure. But Allah purifies whom he pleases, and Allah is hearing and knowing. Now that's a very heavy quote. It says, and were it not for Allah's grace on you and his mercy, not one of you would be pure, would have been pure. So that's saying that if it wasn't for Allah's mercy to raise up the messenger for us, none of us would be pure. So that's how to heart we should hold his teachings and what he taught us to do. Because if it wasn't for Allah's mercy to raise the messenger, none of us would be pure. And she goes on to say, Messenger Muhammad teaches us that the women in Islam is to be greatly cherished, protected, and respected, for she has the great place of the mother of civilization. Now that she has this great teaching, she must come into the realization of the far-reaching importance of this great truth. So these sisters need to be held accountable for them having this truth. Yes. Ain't no more excuse for all of this lackadaisical stuff. Well, sisters just get to do what they want to do. Because this generation of the Nation of Islam is like how they say the messenger said on the warning to the hypocrites. Like how he said when Absalom was kissing the people's hands.
Destroy me and those who are with me. Whether you have a reward or not, maybe you don't need anyone to try to bribe you to do these evil things. It's just naturally in your own wicked heart. As it was in Absalom's heart, who was a bright son of David. Very beautiful and bright young man, so the Bible teaches us, who also rose up against his father David to declare war, and did declare war on his own father, to try to destroy him so that he would be the king and leader of the people. He stood in the gate, so says the Bible, of his father's palace, the king's house, and met the people as they come to the king, kissing them on the hands, to make them to think that he was so much better and more pure for them than his father. All of this was brought to an end when he declared war on They
That's the kind of nation of Islam we in now. You know, the kissing the hand stuff. You know, we don't want to be with the rules. We want to kiss the hands. Because the messenger was too hard. He was too strict. You know what I'm saying? So now, we with the kissing the hand stuff. We want to kiss the hands of the sisters who don't want to wear their headpiece. Sisters who don't want to come out. Because the thing about the MGT today, because they say it ain't what you do, it's how you do. Because we all we. What you do is you.
That's right.
But when you got the nerve to come before the Muslims and don't even care who know what you doing, that's when it's a problem.
Right.
When these sisters on social media got the nerve to post them half naked and you a Muslim, that's when it's a problem.
Right.
Because now you saying, I don't care what them Muslims think about what I do. You know, because we kissing hands. And when you kiss hands, people start disrespecting you like, I don't care what this cat thinks. I don't care what they gonna do. But the messenger, we always want to start with the messenger.
Right.
This is called Messenger Muhammad. It's called Table Talks with Messenger Elijah Muhammad. It says, question. Recently, a policy change was inaugurated by you, whereas lost found women were not to be permitted to enter the mosque if their dresses were above their knees. What effect do you think this will have on recruiting women to the ranks of Islam in view of particularly of the fact that that in some areas the ministers have reported a fall in the attendance of women? When the women are turned away due to the dress link, what explanation, if any, should the officials who sends them away give to them? Now, this is the difference between the kissing the hand stuff and a law enforcer.
Yes, sir. That's right.
The messenger wasn't kissing no hands.
Right.
Straight up.
Yes, sir.
And the fact about it is like, why you gotta ask me this question?
Yes,
if
sir.
I'm telling you not to let them come in, what you expecting me to say?
Right. Yes, sir. That's
So
right.
you want me to tell you to kiss their hands. But the messenger was like, no, there ain't no kissing the hands
Right.
in the Nation of Islam.
Yes, sir.
Because Sister Marjorie Hassan said, if it wasn't for the mercy of Allah, all of us would not be pure.
That's right.
So it's the messenger's job to teach us the standards of Allah.
That's right.
That's his job. His job ain't to be kissing no hands.
That's right.
His job ain't to be sympathizing with us. His job is to just tell us a clear delivery of the message. That's
right.
it.
That's right.
So the messenger says, he says that we will not have people coming in our temple with a disgraceful style. We cannot stay in the field of reforming our people from wearing such indecent styles if we are going to permit them to sit in our temples with us. We must lock the door on such styles.
That's right.
So they go on to ask another question. It says, this then is the way you recommend the officials tell the person refused admittance. So the messenger says exactly without any explanation further. All praise due to Allah. I like that.
Right.
Ain't no explaining.
That's right.
You gotta wear your headpiece, sister.
That's right.
This how we do in the Nation of Islam. If you don't like it, then you can leave.
Right. Right.
Because this movie right here is what we need in the Nation of Islam.
Watch us on YouTube. Search Muhammad's Temple of Islam through your YouTube app, on your phone, smart TV, or your computer. Be sure to subscribe to Muhammad's Temple of Islam when you watch us on YouTube.
We need some Joe Clarks in the Nation of Islam. Because when Joe Clark saw Eastside High, he walked in there and seen them people all out of control. And Joe Clark was like them military sergeants. All they need is a little bit of motivation. That's it. That's all people need.
Right.
Because you got some rotten apples, but you got some people who just following the rotten apple who ain't really a rotten apple.
Yes, sir.
But once you get rid of them rotten apples, then you can make change.
That's right.
But if you let them rotten apples stay, they destroy the whole school.
That's right.
All praise due to Allah.
That's right. Yes, sir.
So my favorite part in this movie is when Joe Clark told them teachers, it's like, you give me the names of all these rotten apples. Give me their names. So he came in there. When we call your name, come stand on stage. So he had all the rotten apples standing there on stage. And at one time he told them all y'all, get up out of here.
Right, yes, sir.
The rotten apples wasn't used to that.
Yeah.
They were shocked because they used to the kissing hand stuff. Got teachers who sympathizing with kids who telling you what they ain't gonna do.
Yes, sir.
So they get used to that. So when Joe Clark came in there telling them to leave, they wasn't used to that. Because they was used to doing what they wanted to do. But Joe Clark was an Elijah Muhammad type of a principal.
Yes,
Care
sir.
what these little kids think. Get out of here.
Right,
Care nothing about you. Call the police. We'll lock the door.
right,
But we gonna have order in this school.
right.
That's number one. My job is to teach these children and educate them. That's my job.
Yes, sir.
My job ain't to be sympathizing with your parents. My job ain't to be sympathizing with you. But my job here is to make sure that these children get an education.
Yes, sir.
That's what our job is as Muslims,
That's right.
is to get the clear delivery of the message to the people.
That's right.
All praise due to Allah.
That's right. Yes, sir.
You can't get a clear delivery of the message to the people if people can come in and see sisters out of control.
That's right.
Because this new school stuff, they be talking about 75% of the work is with the woman. That's what they say. I ain't never heard the messenger say that. But I'm not saying he didn't say it. Maybe he did. If 75% of the work is with the sisters, then 75% of the work is to get rid of the sisters who ain't following the rules. That's 75% of the work. 75% of the work ain't sympathized with these sisters. With this 75% of the work is for the sisters, because the nation can rise no higher than this woman.
Yes, sir.
And when we read in Sister Marjorie Hassan's article, she continues to make it plain. She says, Messenger Muhammad teaches us that the woman in Islam is to be greatly cherished, protected, and respected, for she has the great place of the mother of civilization.
Yes, sir.
Now that she has the great teachings, she must come into the realization of the far-reaching importance of this great truth. She is in the field that produces the nation. Her virtue is guarded by herself and her brothers. It ain't just her. Her brothers. We got to get used to hearing in this new school stuff too. Because we ain't used to all that control the black woman talk.
Right.
This new school stuff. These sisters, this women's lid. When you listen to these brothers today, they Casanova with Islam. You know, we the sweetheart stuff, you know. Casanova, I want to be the Casanova minister to the sister. No. Look at here, sister, check this out. You the one who said you believe.
Right. Right.
You going to MGT class. That's what you accept.
Right.
So why you getting mad at me because I tell you how the messenger said you supposed to dress?
Right. Right.
You saying you accept it. So if I'm telling you what the messenger said, you should bear witness, like all praise due to Allah.
That's right.
You shouldn't have no attitude,
Right.
because the messenger goes on. He says sometimes they go home and change their skirts and come back.
That's right.
He says, I will never permit them to come into the temple with many dresses on. If we don't have one sister coming to us, regardless of how it diminishes the numbers of visitors, I'm not going to yield to their wishes of indecency, disgracing the temple of Islam. Could they go to heaven like that? If not, this is the door to heaven. That's what the mosque is, a door to heaven. Over here we honor no style of the devil that is an indecent style. And if not one of our sisters will accept coming to the temples because of this prohibition against wearing such styles, okay, they can stay home forever.
Right. Yes, sir.
Yes.
Right.
That's it.
Because the thing about these Muhammad Speaks newspapers that's different from this new school stuff is the messenger wasn't kissing hands on nothing.
That's right.
And you will be amazed to see the kind of stuff that the messenger put in the Muhammad Speaks newspaper. You will be shocked. You will be shocked to see all the people that the messenger put out in the Nation of Islam and put it in the paper. Like it wasn't no big deal. Like just letting everybody know this brother out of order.
Right.
This right here comes from the June 2nd, 1967 Muhammad Speaks. It says spreading black music in the Middle East via Addis Ababa, Ethiopia, television recently was Osman Kareem, a young follower of the Honorable Elijah Muhammad, last messenger of Allah. Upon his return home to Muhammad's Mosque of Islam number 2, Kareem says he has completed a 30-month course of Arabic at Egypt Al-Azhar University and was awaiting the word of the messenger before charting his next course. Sound like this brother all in. He going to Al-Azhar University learning Arabic. He say, I ain't going to make another move till I call the messenger. See what time it is.
Yeah.
This brother's name was Osman Kareem. Then the messenger got in the Muhammad Speaks newspaper. It says, special notice from the messenger. It says, this is a warning to all believers in Islam who follow me. Please be advised that we have no association whatsoever with Mr. Max Spears, who has been going in the name of Osman Kareem and who is now charged with drug addiction. He wants the public to think that he is still one of my followers and still associated with me and my followers. You positively must keep away from him. Now, this brother ain't the only one who the messenger put in the Muhammad Speaks newspaper like he got time out.
Yes, sir.
Telling all the Muslims, if you following me, no association with this brother.
That's right. Yes, sir.
But in this new school stuff, this old my black brother stuff, look at all the entertainers Muslims just associate with. Doing all kind of foolishness. All kind of foolishness in their music. All kind of foolishness that they openly do. Muslims associate with them.
Right.
Bring them all to Savior's Day. Let them talk.
Right.
When they doing all kind of foolishness.
Right.
Wasn't like that with the message.
That's right. Right.
You had to come correct.
That's right.
But Sister Marjorie Hassan said if it wasn't for the grace and mercy of Allah, none of us would be pure.
That's right.
So the messenger's whole job was to give us a clear delivery of the message.
That's right. That's right.
The temple is a doorway to heaven.
Yes, sir.
No drinking, no smoking, no fornicating. That's the doorway to heaven.
That's right. Yes,
The
sir.
doorway to heaven. And if we allow people to come in our heaven and destroy it with all this do what you want to do stuff, that's our fault.
That's right. That's right.
Messenger showed us what heaven is. Heaven ain't no spooky place.
That's right.
Heaven is a condition of life. A nation can rise no higher than a woman. So the heaven rests on them. But you letting a sister who's supposed to be the one who they say, when you teach a woman, you teach a nation. When you teach a man, you teach an individual. See, we talk the talk. We don't want to walk the walk. So if you know it's that serious for the sister, why can she not wear her headpiece? Why can she come and wear blouses so low, some of these sisters? You can see their breasts. And I'm talking about, because growing up, we had the Cosby Show. And in the Cosby Show, you had Claire Huxtable. Lost found sister. But Claire Huxtable had class. The one thing I give Felicia Rashard, she never disrespected herself and lowered herself in her roles. Never have I saw Felicia Rashard in some low role. She always had class. These MGT today ain't got no class
Right. Right.
in the way they dress. Then these brothers so weak because it's the brothers.
Yes, sir.
Because the FOI is the backbone of the nation.
That's right.
Let's just make that clear. It's these brothers who want to kiss hands. So these sisters, the way they dress, then these brothers let them come back to the temple on Sunday, and that's what make it look so bad. Because with social media, you don't have to pry on people. They telling on themselves all week long.
Yes, sir.
I'm not talking about a sister just go every once a month or every blue moon you see a sister out. Oh, I'm talking about every day.
Right.
Every day, I'm telling you. Allah's my witness. Because I'll look at them, I'll watch them, I'll see what sister it is.
Yes, sir.
'Cause when you come around the believers, ain't none of that kissing hand stuff around believers.
That's right.
Let's make that clear.
Yes, sir.
All the people who be watching. Believers don't kiss hands.
That's right.
So if you want to be a sister who do all of this wild stuff and you a Muslim, you can come on Savior's Day. Do what you want to do. But all that being around, no, sister. It ain't going down like that.
right.
And I want to just be
right.
clear.
Yes, sir.
All praises due to Allah.
Yes, sir.
Because the one thing that I refuse to do as a follower of the messenger, and the believers refuse to do, is accept foolishness and say you practicing the teachings of the message.
That's right.
I refuse to do that.
Yes, sir.
I refuse to be a person who's standing up here before these people, talking about the messenger, going through all this to get them the clear words of the message. Then to see some sister all week got the nerve to post some pictures on Facebook of her half naked. Then she come all the hard work we do to go out there to get them brothers to come, get these sisters to come.
Yeah.
Then you come to the temple acting like you gonna do what you want to do. No, it ain't rolling like that.
Right.
And there's too many of these sisters out here with that attitude. So that's why I believe that these sisters don't need nothing but a little motivation. All of them. All of them. The pretty ones, the long hair ones, the ones with the nice bodies. They don't need nothing but a little motivation. That's all they need.
That's right.
And in the Nation of Islam, F class is the motivation. All praise due to Allah. I'm telling you, I believe that wholeheartedly. Telling you, when I was in the military, that was the devil's solution. If you don't want to get with the program, get gone.
Right.
Straight up.
Yes, sir.
I don't remember them begging us to be in no military. I don't remember that. I don't remember them even asking us stuff. They used to tell us to do stuff. This is what we doing.
Right.
Because when we used to have them little briefings where they telling you how it's about to go, it wasn't like it was a dialogue. They would have all us in there with whoever was in charge telling us what's about to happen. No matter how hard it was for you, no matter how inconvenienced it was gonna make you, this is what we all doing. Right. It wasn't nothing special for one person. You smarter than everybody else. You a better soldier than it. Everybody, it was the same.
Yes, sir.
If I gotta come at 3 o'clock, everybody gotta come at 3 o'clock. That's how it was. So I'm a strong believer in the rules because the rules work.
Yes, sir, they do.
The rules weed out the weakness.
That's right.
The rules weed out the hypocrites and the turncoats.
That's right.
The rules weed them out.
That's right.
And if they stay, they following the rules. So you
right.
win. It's a win-win.
Right.
It's a win-win.
Right.
Because when you look at the messenger, the way he ran the Nation of Islam, when you look at these Muhammad Speaks newspapers, he wanted the lost founds to know how the temple was ran.
Yes, sir.
Nothing was no secret. This brother, the messenger could have had a temple meeting to say he was out of the temple. But the lost founds saw him. It was lost founds who knew he was a Muslim.
Right.
So now, the lost founds probably know he on some drugs. So, I got to let the lost found know he ain't with us.
Right.
Because it ain't no thing, this all this secret stuff like, oh, no. If this sister all on Facebook, have her all come to the temple. Have a temple meeting, everybody see. Come on up here, sister. Them Facebook pictures. All you sisters with them Facebook pictures.
Right.
She getting 90 days.
That's right.
From all them sisters. Everybody see you. Everybody on Facebook see you while we hide. We had that meeting after the temple.
Right.
Sister, come on up here and stand up front. Let everybody see you.
That's right.
Telling you, I believe that wholeheartedly. I ain't all, no. Come up here and stand up here, these Facebook pictures. Let everybody know, brothers, too.
Yes.
You with your wives.
Right.
She ain't got her headpiece on. We're putting her and you out.
Right.
Not just you. Her and you.
Right.
Both of y'all. The messenger said that this is the doorway to heaven.
That's right.
This is the only heaven we gonna see.
Yes, sir.
This is it. So we gonna build our heaven, or we gonna build for ourselves a hell.
That's right.
We gonna have children coming in here. We gotta teach them the right way.
That's right.
The sisters is the ones who teach the children. So what we gonna do?
That's it.
We gonna let the sisters just teach the children the dead world? No, we ain't gonna do that. Because Marjorie Hassan goes on. She says the teachings of Messenger Muhammad has restored honor to her. She must hold it fast and plant it in her very heart. She is taught judgment, and in all things she must ask herself in making decent decisions, is this honorable? She got to ask herself in all decisions, is this honorable? This outfit that I'm about to put on, this is an honorable outfit. Is this the kind of outfit that's going to represent the messenger, or is this the outfit that's going to represent the devil's civilization? In every decision. Because she says that the black woman is protecting her virtue. What does virtue mean? We need to see what virtue means. What is the black woman actually protecting when she protecting her virtue? It says virtue is behavior showing high moral standard. That's what virtue is. So when the messenger and Sister Marjorie Hassan says, not only is the sister protecting her virtue, but the brothers too. Because it's our job too to help protect the sister's virtue.
Yes, sir.
It ain't just on them. It's on us too. And what does behavior mean? It says behavior is an action that is observable and measurable. It's observable. People can see your behavior. You acting a fool.
Right.
You ain't got your headpiece on. You wearing lipstick. Them your behaviors. It says it is what we see or hear, such as a student sitting down, standing up, speaking, whispering, yelling, or writing. All these behaviors the messenger taught us how to do. The messenger taught us how to sit down.
That's right.
The messenger taught us don't yell across the street.
That's right.
The messenger taught us don't gossip.
That's right.
So all our behaviors, the messenger taught us what to do. So when the sister protecting her virtues, she's saying she's protecting the high moral standard that the messenger teaching them. That's her job as well as the brother's job. So if we, as the FOI, say, oh, that's the sister's thing. When we see the sister, no. The FOI supposed to have a problem with it too. Like, yo, what's up with this?
That's right.
This the standards of the messenger. Because we the backbone of the nation.
That's right.
So the messenger goes on to say, he says, you can't please two masters. With such dresses on, she tempts men folks, especially when she sits down because she has nothing to hide herself. If you're going to bring temptation into the temple where you're supposed to be reforming them, you're a poor reformer. In fact, you're no reformer at all. I did dismiss one minister who was permitting such act. Then it says, note, at this point the MGT captain at number 2 entered. Coincidentally, we pointed out to her we were just discussing the question of sisters and their dress, and she, the captain, was asked how she was handling the situation at number 2 and what were some of the responses like. And this is what the sister captain said. She says, we don't have any difficulty there. The sisters respond well. When you tell them that we have a regulation here that all followers of the Honorable Elijah Muhammad carry out, that is for a sister to be allowed inside our congregation, they must have a garment on that is at least 2.5 inches below her knees. And when she sits down, we can teach. And when she sits down, we cannot have her garment riding above her knees. After we explain to them, it is a form of respect for themselves and for the teachings, we don't have any problems, no arguments. We had one sister go home and change and came back and her dress was still too short. They seem to understand that we have to stick to our laws. They are not argumentative at all. Some of them turn their skirts down lower. So you'll find, see, it be these kiss the hand people who try to make it seem like, man, you know, we be too strict. You know, they ain't gonna want to come. But the sister captain said they don't argue. They respect the fact that they have to wear garments below their knee.
Yes,
but the kiss the hand people tell you the opposite. They want you to think if you stick to them strict rules, that's gonna turn people away. So the messenger says, some of them take their hymns out. The sister captain said, that's right. We had that happen many times. The conversation went on in this vein, and the holy apostle then made the following statement. The messenger says, this shows that they want to come in and hear the truth. I don't think any sister with a decent mind will argue with you about not permitting any indecent style in her holy place. Then if they do begin arguing with you, you know that you had allowed her to go in, you would not have a fit sister anyway.
Right.
She arguing.
Right.
These MGT, you tell them, look, sister, this how you supposed to do when they argue. She ain't fit anyway.
Right.
You might as well put her out. Because she ain't doing nothing but poisoning another sister who might want to do it, but listening to her, she ain't going to want to do it.
Right.
Like Joe Clark. Once he got rid of all them bad apples, then the brothers who seemed like they was a bad apple started straightening up. Because the little brother right here, he was one of them brothers who was following after one of them rotten apples. So Joe Clark put him out too. But he wasn't really a rotten apple to the core in his heart. He was just following the brother. So he wanted to stay. So he came back to Joe Clark like, yo, man, let me stay. I want to come back. He was like, why should I let you come back? He wasn't like, oh, come on, no. Why should I let you come back?
Right.
Well, what you going to do different? Because you know you can't do the same thing you was doing when you left.
Right.
So he showed Joe Clark he was sincere. Joe Clark said, come on back. All praise you to Allah.
Yes, sir.
He came a good brother.
Right.
Good student. Just for somebody making him follow the rules.
Yes, sir. That's right.
If them teachers would have kept kissing hands, he probably wouldn't have graduated.
That's right.
But when Joe Clark made them kids follow the rules, it was kids who was that they thought was dumb,
Yeah.
passing grades.
Yes, sir.
That's what following the rules do. You bring stuff out of people that you never knew they had.
Right.
But if you kissing hands, you will never know this sister had the potential to be the captain.
That's right.
She got the potential to be a teacher in the university,
Right.
the principal of the university. A lot of things she could do. You just stop kissing hands.
Right.
That's the whole purpose of Allah coming to us.
Yes,
His
sir.
grace
That's
and
right.
mercy
Right.
to show us what we got in us. We Muslims by nature.
That's right.
We're not Muslims like the devil. Got to accept it, but it's not your nature. It's our nature to be right.
That's right.
But we just love the devil.
Yes, sir. That's right.
So Islam bring out of us what we don't even know we got in us.
Watch us on YouTube. Search Muhammad's Temple of Islam through your YouTube app, on your phone, smart TV, or your computer. Be sure to subscribe to Muhammad's Temple of Islam when you watch us on YouTube.
That's right.
So that's the whole purpose of us following the rules.
Yes, sir.
So the messenger says some of the temples, they like to have big numbers to report regardless to what they look like. The Holy Quran and Bible teaches that it does not take numbers to accomplish great things.
Yes, sir.
It is the ones that are sincere. So it is with us. This is warning us that if our numbers are small, remember that it is like all other great things in the past that came about. It was a small number that brought about such things, even fighting the enemy. The Holy Quran teaches us, do not be afraid to go before the enemy because we are small in number. Kingdoms have been taken with a small number. It's the faith that you have from Allah.
That's right.
We may not have a world of people to fight the enemy, but be steadfast in Allah, for Allah is sufficient to take care of them all, them alone.
Yes, sir. That's right.
That's what you gotta have.
That's right.
You can't be worrying about how many people in the temple.
That's right.
Because the people who in the temple who the rotten apples is causing the temple not to grow like you want it to grow.
Yes, sir.
But once Allah exposed them rotten apples, because He always do.
Yeah, you do. Yes,
Once
sir.
He exposed them rotten apples, now you see we can start off fresh.
That's right.
Rotten apples gone. Now everybody here sincere.
Right.
That's what you want anyway. A sincere belief.
That's right.
That's what you want. That's what the rules will give you.
Yes,
Because the rules gonna show who's sincere and who not sincere.
That's right.
So she goes on to say, the white man made a great outward show of honor and discipline for himself, yet he dragged us through the mud of civilization. He brought our black foreparents here, stacked like cordwood in filthy vessels. He disgraced our black women and bred them like cattle. He raped our black women and sold his own children, his own seed, into further slavery, disgrace, and despair. It is the truth, the white man does not have a heart. He is the complete opposite of the black man. She says, Messenger Muhammad teaches us the whole truth. The white man is a depraved wild beast. No wonder Allah, God, will destroy the white race. They are a race of devils.
Yes, sir. That's right.
So we got to go back to this Father Flagger thing. Because the one thing about the Nation of Islam that you will see, is once Muslims start accepting this Christianity stuff, when you start seeing Muslims being more, not teaching that the white man is the devil, not teaching that Christianity is the white man's religion and all that, Muslims start acting like Christians.
That's right.
Like the messengers say, don't pray like Muslims and act like Christians.
Right.
That's what we did when we started accepting these devils. Because Father Flager is a devil that most black people love. They love the fact that this is a devil who acting like he trying to help the black man.
Yes, sir.
So the messenger says that they are a deprived wild race of wild beasts.
Right.
And she repeating what the messenger said. Because that's how Muslims were. Hey, the messenger said they wild beasts. We're going to say they wild beasts.
Right.
Now, how do the devil make us act like wild beasts? How do we do that? This right here is a Walt Disney World movie. It's called Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs. This is what they teach the babies, because the sisters supposed to teach the babies from the cradle.
Right.
The devil's teaching the babies from the cradle. Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs. You see Snow White, she got on a long ankle length dress. Because the devil know how it's supposed to go.
Right.
But he teaching this what the white woman's supposed to look like. Classy. Every time they show a white woman on the cartoons for the kids, she always covered up. Showing the little kids, all this beautiful white woman. And that's why most of the time brothers think white women better than black women. Because of this stuff, this devil making us into wild beasts. But when it comes to the black man, they had Cold Black and the Seven Dwarfs. Look at this sister's clothes.
Yes, sir.
This what the white man, how he programmed us to be wild beasts.
Right.
Because he know what time it is.
Yeah, he know. Yes, sir.
He know what Allah want us to do.
Right.
He know that.
Right.
Because he got his women all the time dressed up in the long, the princess with the
Right.
long gowns on. But old Cold Black. And see how they spell, it's supposed to be 7. But they spell it 7. 7 dwarfs. The white man.
That's right.
Trying to make us sad.
Yes, sir.
So then, when you got in it, every time you see Cold Black, she half naked round the brother.
That's right.
All the time. And the brother ain't never got no respect for the sister. He just seemed like he trying to romance and sweetheart like the messenger used to talk about sweetheart.
Yeah.
Oh, they used to do with Cold Black. Then, you got another picture. This was her sweethearting with this brother. This how they paint the brothers with the big lips, and he only got one tooth in his mouth.
Yes, sir.
But she's sweethearting with him. Look at how she looking at him.
Yeah.
Sweetheart, like the messages say.
Right.
Sweetheart. Ain't no courtship.
Right.
Sweetheart.
Yes, sir.
So then we see he turned and look at her, and she started blinking her eyes.
Yes, sir.
Because they starting to warm up sweetheart
Right.
for the kids.
Right.
Then we see when he kissed her, her barrettes, her hair, before he kissed her, her little braids was down and her little barrettes was right here. But when they sweethearted and he kissed her, her little braids stand up and start spinning. Then American flags come up. White man, brother.
That's right.
He always trying to slide it in.
That's him. That's right. That's him, brother. That's him.
That's the,
That's him.
that's the white man.
That's him, brother.
He got the American flag on him. And then, to end all the sweetheart, look at him with the dreamy eyes. The sweetheart.
Right.
This how the white man teach us to be savage.
That's right.
Because he know how to be civilized.
That's right.
He know how to be civilized because he always dressing his people up civilized. Showing his children what the difference is when a woman is in front of men.
Yes, sir.
She's supposed to be covered up.
That's right.
So these wild beasts, white men at Disney, teaching our children how to be wild beasts like them.
Yes, sir. That's right.
But the messenger, in the Muhammad Speaks newspaper, the messenger say this is the doorway to heaven.
That's right.
So whenever you see the messenger show couples, and this is the one thing I love in the Muhammad Speaks newspaper. Ain't no sweetheart and romance showing in the Muhammad Speaks newspaper.
Yes, sir.
you see the doorway to heaven. The black woman protected her virtue and her husband right there with her.
Yes, sir.
They standing there holding their own hands. They ain't holding each other's hands. They holding their own hands. Standing there, and they married.
Yes, sir.
Holding their own hands. It says, newlyweds, Brother Willie X and his bride, Sister Vanessa X, both of Muhammad's Mosque in Harrisburg, PA, posed happily after the ceremony in which they became one recently. The wedding and reception were held in the home of Minister Henry X, who officiated at the ceremonies. In the home of this brother. The marriage and the after ceremony was held in the home of this brother.
Yes, sir.
That don't go on with the sweetheart stuff. We got to spend $10,000 on the wedding with the sweetheart stuff. But the message is showing you, you ain't got to do all that.
Right.
They going to have the wedding and the reception at your house.
Right.
Ain't got to be sweetheart. Dignified. It's the message. Then you got another picture. This one is, it says, happy ending to a harrowing experience is mirrored in the face of Sister Catherine, pictured with her husband, Barry, Brother Terrell. Shortly after their recent wedding at Muhammad's Mosque, Dallas, Texas, Sister Kathleen was one of 600 black Mississippi high school graduates left standing in Dallas and fleeced out of $200 advance tuition to a supposedly low fee but non-existent business school by a smooth-talking white operator. She is also one of the destitute students who made their way to the mosque, and among those who accepted the righteous teachings of the message. So she got married. She was in high school, getting married. No sweetheart. Message ain't never show no sweetheart. Muhammad Speaks newspaper. She a high school student getting married. Standing there with her husband, they hands side by side. Then you got another picture. These two officials. It says, attesting to the fact that the recent Savior's Day convention was the most successful in history and magnificent tribute to the effectiveness of teachings of the Honorable Elijah Muhammad, are two of the hundreds of husbands and wives who traveled across the length and breadth of America to hear in person the messenger of Allah. Above are Minister Abdul Kareem and his wife, Sister Elos Kareem, of Muhammad's Mosque of Islam, New Haven, and Bridgeport, Connecticut. Below are Captain John B. X and wife, Sister Grace X of Muhammad's Mosque, number 13. So the messenger ain't never putting in your mind nothing about no sweetheart when he show you these couples. Yes, but when we look at the white man's publication, they always showing sweetheart because they wild beasts.
That's right.
And the messenger said that's how Yaqub first started them with the half-naked stuff. That's how he taught them. That's in their nature with the naked stuff. It ain't in our nature. But with this kissing hands stuff, you know, we want to be more lenient. We want brothers to be all, you know, hugged up with the sisters. Look at these brothers, because when you look at the Muhammad Speaks newspaper, to let you know how these smart, crooked deceivers are, have you ever noticed how we got Nation of Islam archivists and all these people acting like they want to remember the message? Why don't they never print a whole Muhammad Speaks newspaper? The whole paper, not just take a picture like they'll take a picture, print the picture. Why don't you print the whole paper? Because the whole paper goes against everything they're doing in this new school stuff. Because if you're a believer who believe in the message, as a believer, I know how much I done spent on some papers. I know how much other believers spent on some papers to put it online so black people can get it for free.
Right.
I'm telling you, I done spent some hundreds of dollars.
Yes,
Papers, brother.
Right.
Believers have too.
Right.
That's a belief.
Right.
Now, I'm not going to give you my paper, but I'll put it online.
Right.
I want everybody to see.
Right.
All praise to Allah.
Yes, sir.
Because I always feel like, what if I wouldn't have got this paper that I got?
Yes, sir.
How would I feel? Because I used to be hurt sometimes. I'm going to tell you how it is online. When them papers you really want, like, they let you look through it and somebody else get it, you be hurt. Like, dang, I ain't have enough money to get it, but I wish you be searching sometime. I searched sometime for years to find that Muhammad Speaks newspaper I lost on eBay. Then when I find it, I'll pay the high price and then put it online. Because that's what a believer want to do.
That's right.
But this new school stuff, this kissing the hand stuff, is so much different from the messenger. You got Nation of Islam archive. How you archive the teachings of the messenger? Because archive mean complete. That's what archive mean. Archive don't mean you continuing to practice this stuff. Archive mean that's it, and this something different. That's what archive. How you archive the messenger? When the messenger said, if you got old papers, don't throw them away, give them away.
That's right.
The messenger used to have Muhammad Speaks newspaper drives.
That's right.
The messenger did all he could to get them newspapers in the hands of black people. Now you got Muhammad Speaks or Nation of Islam archives that'll have a whole paper, have a little museum and just have the paper on the wall, or come out with one paper. Because what this also shows that some of these brothers don't like is all these brothers only got one wife. Every last one of them.
Yes, sir.
Because these new school brothers, they real slick in the way they be showing their little wives.
Yeah.
They real slick.
Right.
They'll be having a little something with their little wife. They won't say it's their wife. They'll say, oh, I'm just having this with sister so-and-so. Only one of them they'll say is his wife. But why you out with sister so-and-so?
Right.
Where's sister so-and-so husband?
Right.
Because all this stuff be on Facebook. You see sister so-and-so say she married, but she out with you.
Right.
You ain't never said she married. You said she married to her, but you with sister so-and-so. Where her husband?
Right.
That's how they do with all this wild stuff.
Right.
So it's the reason why these brothers ain't putting these papers out. Because
Right.
it exposed.
That's right.
The messenger only said we got one wife.
That's right.
We ain't all trying to be showing all this sweethearting with our arms all around them at the beach. Some of these brothers be with your wife. That's what we was doing in the dead world.
Right.
We thought that was cool. Let everybody see our woman. I got a fine dime piece with me.
Yeah.
That's what we used to do. Brothers do that now with their wife on the beach. Some of this stuff, I know brothers who probably, or sisters who was in back in the day, like thought you would never see a Muslim do something like that.
Right.
You got your wife at the beach with the rest of the devils and everybody else showing her off to the rest of the people. And we supposed to be going for that? It's no. That's why we come out with the entire Muhammad Speaks newspaper. Don't only show you the pictures, but show you the articles.
Right.
Where the Muslims and the messenger writing articles.
Yes, sir.
Because when you get to Muhammad Speaks newspaper, and what I love about it is you can read what believers say. But you get a whole different perspective to read how a follower is following the teachings of the messenger.
Right.
Because when you're talking about the messenger giving this strict rule, we could be acting like, oh, we ain't no way we can do that. How we going to do that? But you got believers writing their articles talking about how following this rule changed my life.
That's
I used to
right.
do this. Oh, praise to Allah. You don't get that just by reading the messenger article. You can have these double crosses acting like, oh, that was for that time. No, this brother was doing it. And you can also see the odds that believer was hurdling to do some of this stuff for the message. Some of these brothers who working 2 and 3 jobs still selling papers.
That's right.
Some of these sisters who teachers. All this stuff you can see when you read these articles that the believers write.
That's right.
And you can see how believers used to criticize people who do what we do now.
Yes, sir.
That's the one thing I love. So what you gonna say when you had seeing this Muhammad Speaks newspaper? The same thing I'm criticizing when you say that brother shouldn't say that. But they were saying it then.
You're right.
There's a sisters criticizing other sisters, brothers criticizing sisters.
That's right.
Seeing them in mini skirts. It wasn't no thing like keep it with the sisters. No. Brothers writing articles.
That's right.
These half-naked sisters. They even used to write articles about them sisters who was Malcolm X's girlfriend.
Yeah.
Talk about that in the Muhammad Speaks newspaper. They was calling them women his girlfriend.
Yes, sir.
Talking about they had babies and was disgracing themselves.
Yes.
Talking about they was still writing the messenger articles and he ain't pay them no attention. Said he wanted them to crawl back to the temple. Crawl back. Because they say they still disgracing themselves. They never recognized them women as the messenger wives. But if you don't got a whole Muhammad Speaks newspaper. Because the one thing they like to do, these Nation of Islam are, they like to show where them children was in the Muhammad Speaks newspaper. See, showing you half of the paper. Trying to lead you to believe. No. Because when you got to believe, it don't make a difference if they go to the doctor and get a DNA test and they say they the messenger children. Believer wouldn't care nothing about that. They tamper with DNA evidence. If the messenger didn't say, this my son, like he said about Watts, like he said about Elijah Jr., like he said about all his children, we don't care nothing about no DNA.
That's right.
Oh, praise to the Lord.
That's right.
The messenger only children was with the ones he had with Sister Claire.
That's right.
If you had some children with the messenger, he ain't claiming, I feel sorry for you.
That's right.
That's your problem. You should have made him claim.
That's right.
You should have told him to put your wedding in the Muhammad Speech newspaper like they're doing everybody else.
That's right.
But since you didn't care then, don't come telling us now.
That's right.
Oh, praise to Allah. You ain't care if them believers didn't know then. Why we gotta know?
Right.
If you talking about you, the messengers, wives, and children, you wasn't saying that then.
Right.
And that's the beauty of getting a whole Muhammad Speaks newspaper.
That's
Because
right.
you can read how believers was talking about them sisters.
That's right.
Talking about Malcolm X.
Yes, sir.
Talking about these Christians.
right.
Talking about preachers. Talking about these black power people. Wasn't all this old my black brother stuff.
That's right.
It was Islam.
That's right.
This is the doorway to heaven for the black man.
That's right.
And if you don't accept it, kick rocks.
God, praise be to
What? Kick rocks. If you love the devil, you love the devil.
Right.
We don't love the devil.
That's right.
Don't come to the temple talking about how much you love no devil.
That's right.
We don't love.
That's right.
If you love him, all praise is due to Allah, but get up out of here.
That's right.
That's all it is. That's how it should be today. What's
That's
wrong
right.
with that?
Yes, sir.
You say you a Muslim.
Right.
If we say we don't love the devil, why are you trying to convince us about slavery?
Right.
If we Muslims,
Right.
we say we believe in the teaching of the message. You say you do too. That's why another thing that's good about these papers is the messenger when he wrote about hypocrites.
Yes, sir.
He wrote about hypocrites.
That's
He
right.
said them hypocrites come around the Muslims and say they believe like the Muslims believe only to deceive you.
That's right.
But he said that them hypocrites hate Allah and the messenger and his message.
Yes, sir.
And they do all they can to turn you against it too.
That's right.
Because they don't like it and they not satisfied with just not liking it for themselves. They want you to not like it too.
That's right.
So all these Muslims who promote flavor, they really hate the message.
Yes, sir.
You really hate the message.
Yes,
You
sir.
ain't telling me that the messenger spent 44 years to do all he did, all that risk he was taking on his life to teach us that the white man's the devil. Now you come in here and like you love the messenger so much because that's how hypocrites do.
That's right.
Because when you look at Malcolm X, you will look at how far a person would go who got a hidden agenda. When you look at these articles about Malcolm X, because it seemed like he was sincere until he flipped the script.
That's right.
Seemed like he was for real. But then when you see how this brother praising the death of Kennedy, he praised the death of them white people who died in that plane crash, praising all kind of white people's death. Then when he go to Mecca, all it take for you to change is to see some white people you say eating bowls of grits together. Now, last month you was praising the death of Kennedy. But this month for the press, because you want to have a different image in the press. You say, well, I went to Mecca now and I had a change and now all white men ain't bad. That's how these hypocrites do who have a hidden agenda. His agenda all the time was to be the big man.
Right. Yes, sir.
So all them years you see Malcolm X acting like he was sincere. And because the messenger, when he write on hypocrites, he said them hypocrites, they act like they sincere. They say, I believe you the messenger of Allah, all that.
Yes.
But in their hearts, they don't believe nothing.
That's right.
So this brother, ain't no way in the world you can praise the death of 130 white folks and then next month you talking about you think that all white people good. What about the civil rights movement and all them white people that was helping Dr. King? That didn't change you. All them white people that was writing the messenger asking him could they join the nation? Because the messenger, you say that. Said white people write me all the time wanting to join. No, they can't join. That didn't change. But now, when you go to Mecca, you see this in Mecca. Why did that change? Because you was a hypocrite. You always had it in your heart that you was going to be the big man. So all that you was doing was to show the public, I'm more qualified than this Elijah Muhammad.
Sir.
I'm the one you need to be listened to, not him. So, hey, if I got to say I love the devil for you to follow me, I love the devil.
Yes, sir.
I believe in guns now.
Yeah.
Yesterday I ain't believe in guns, but today, go get a rifle club for black people. That's a hypocrite.
That's right.
So today, we love the hypocrites. We don't believe they're a hypocrite, even if they say something directly that contradicts the teaching of the message.
So I want to say to my beloved brother and friend, Father Michael Flager, one of the finest men that I've had the privilege of meeting since I've been here in Chicago. Is the white man the devil? Not this one.
We don't want to believe they're a hypocrite. But go to get these Muhammad Speaks newspapers and read what the messages say on the hypocrite.
Yes, sir.
Well, brothers and sisters, we don't want to prolong the time. So I'll leave you as I came in the nation of Islam's greeting words of peace of Assalamu alaikum.
Enjoying the show? Help keep us on the air. 313-371-7033. That's 313-371-7033 to make a donation.
Brothers and sisters, we rise for prayer. In the name of Allah, the Beneficent, the Merciful, all praise is due to Allah, the Lord of the worlds, the Beneficent, the Merciful. So, Master's Day of Judgment in which we now live, the alone do we serve, and the alone seek for thine help and aid. O Allah, please guide us on the right path, path of those upon whom thou hast bestowed thy favors, not on the path of those upon whom thy wrath is brought down, nor those who go astray after they heard thy teachings. Say he, Allah is one God. Allah is he of whom nothing is independent, but upon whom we all depend. He begetteth not, nor is he begotten, there is none like him. And I bear witness that none is to be served, worship, or praise besides Allah, who came in the person of Master Farah Muhammad. And I bear witness that the Honorable Elijah Muhammad is thy true servant and last apostle. Ameen. The Honorable Elijah Muhammad taught us not to do anything to anyone that we wouldn't have done it to ourselves and treat everybody right, even the devil. Assalamu alaikum.